Good evening, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is David Okun. Thank you, happy Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for your support and thank you for celebrating Valentine's Day. And let me know in the comment below what you did and what was the excitement. Thank you so much and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is David Okun. And if you have been here before, thank you so much for your support, for everything you have done. And also, if you haven't, kindly subscribe to this channel and support it. We have been here operating for the last 2 years now, coming to more than a year actually, from 2021. We have been functioning. We opened this channel in 2012, but we did not work on it until 2022, and we are now over a year. Kindly subscribe and share, leave a comment below. Thank you very much for everybody, to everybody who have been subscribing to this channel. Support it in different ways, leaving a comment and sharing with family and friends, in leaving clicking notification bell, but also engaging with the discussion. We have been talking about the cost of living crisis mainly, but also we've been talking about different elements of society, politics, law, environment, food, energy, and very exciting. Watch the video, these and the others. I'll be mixing things up a little going forward, but I will be focusing on the cost of living crisis. Let me know in the comment below what your experience was celebrating the Valentine's Day in the light of the cost of living crisis if you're in the UK, but also if you're in the rest of the world, in Europe and America. Let me know how the cost of living crisis has affected you in celebrating every event, including Christmas previously, recently, and the New Year recently. Now Valentine's Day, because my understanding is that the cost of living crisis is a fundamental issue. That's what I've been talking about. I'll continue watching. I'll be talking about the cost of living crisis. I will be talking about benefit, universal credit, financial support given in the United Kingdom for the people of Britain. And I'll be asking for your feedback to how you feel, and asking you to give a response and also to leave a comment below. Thank you so much. Continue watching. Thank you. Thank you so much. Like I said previously, like I said again, as I've always said, and events such as Valentine's Day is always impacted when we suffer the cost of living crisis. So I am today trying to link experience in your communities, your experience. So I'm just trying to use my imagination how you must have also participated in the Valentine events and how you must have been affected because of the cost of living crisis. So always an opportunity to also attend a party of Valentine's Day. I've been talking to people there how they experience with the cost of living crisis, but I'll give you a glimpse of the party I attended for Valentine's Day and also for other occasions. Especially we were celebrating the birthday of my niece who turned 1 year, but we also, because it was so close to Valentine's, it was a combination of birthday party and Valentine's Day. So I'll provide a snippet in the snippets of what happened there on this video. Also, to my main aim is actually to invite discussion on your part, if that is needed, your experience of Valentine's and how the cost of living really affected you more than before. And thank you so much for your participation. Thank you for your attending. Thank you for your support of this YouTube channel. And leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to this channel. Let me know how you are doing and how things are getting on with your life, and also the privilege of being part of the family, attending to watch this material. And we're work in progress. I'm so excited sharing my experience with you. And once again, happy Valentine to you. Continue watching. Good evening, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is David Okun. Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you for celebrating Valentine's Day. And let me know in the comment below what you did and what was the excitement. Thank you so much, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is David Okun. And if you have been here before, thank you so much for your support, for everything you have done. And also, if you haven't, kindly subscribe to this channel and support it. We have been here operating for the last 2 years now, coming to more than a year actually. From 2021, we have been functioning. We opened this channel in 2012, but we did not work on it until 2022, and we are now over a year. Kindly subscribe and share, leave a comment below. Thank you very much for everybody, to everybody who have been subscribing to this channel. Support it in different ways, leaving a comment and sharing with family and friends, in clicking notification bell, but also engaging with the discussion. We have been talking about the cost of living crisis mainly, but also we've been talking about different elements of society, politics, law, environment, food, energy, and very exciting. Watch the video, these and the others. I'll be mixing things up a little going forward, but I will be focusing on the cost of living crisis. Let me know in the comment below what your experience was celebrating the Valentine's Day in the light of the cost of living crisis, if you are in the UK, but also if you are in the rest of the world, in Europe and America. Let me know how the cost of living crisis has affected you in celebrating every event, including Christmas previously, recently, and the New Year recently. Now Valentine's Day, because my understanding is that the cost of living crisis is a fundamental issue. That was I've been talking about, and I continue watching. I'll be talking about the cost of living crisis. I will be talking about benefit, universal credit, financial support given in the United Kingdom for the people of Britain. And I'll be asking for your feedback to how you feel, and asking you to give a response, and also to leave a comment below. Thank you so much. Continue watching. Thank you. So as I've always suggested in life, you can actually use your resources to look at the situation you are under, and the cost of living is the situation we face. And I'm so happy that we have been able to talk about this, to exchange these, and going forward I will be doing other things, but whatever I do, as I promised previously, is I will be talking about the cost of living alongside other things. As human beings, as humanity, we are actually designed to live peacefully. We are supposed to be happy. As young people, as adults, and as elderly, we are supposed to live in a society such as we do in the United Kingdom, such as we do in the rest of the world. Wherever you are, this message is for you. And it is about life, it's about peace, it's about living together as a human family, and it's looking at what is happening in the Middle East, the warfare which is happening there, and comparing war situation where children die, their adults die, families are separated, some people cannot access food, water, or even the basic necessity. And if you do take a survey, take an interest to look around the world to see the experience of humanity, some people enjoy, a lot of people will enjoy life such as we did during Valentine, such as a lot of people were attending party, which is actually fantastic. That is the way we hope the world will become peaceful, for us to party other than fight one another, killing, destroying one another, being unhappy, being sad. And that is why I'm talking about this, because I believe in humanity. I believe that if we are actually united together to do the right thing, the outcome of our life is going to be happiness, such as you saw during the Valentine party with loved ones, with family and friends, other than actually treating each other as strangers, such as we see in big cities and towns in Europe, America, Asia, Africa. And if you see, humanity is designed to live happily with one another, like one big happy family. But increasingly now, because of violence, we are actually referring to each other as strangers. We don't talk to one another peacefully. We are suspicious, and humanity has become a danger to itself. And this form of violence is what I refer to as cultural failure, having caused a state of affairs where we are always at war with one another. But I've also said that we use development as we do. We weaponize development to create weapon of mass destruction, and that is why we have a lot of weapons. Europe is now planning to actually expand its militarism today on the news if you watch, and that is now has become a necessity. Violence and war has become a necessity. The cost of living is created by violence. Violence when people do not access adequate income. It's an income problem. And if you in the United Kingdom, which I'm now focusing on, but also if you're watching from somewhere else, what happened in the United Kingdom is similar to what happens to you. This is because of globalization. It is because of something called harmonization. If you watch this video, watch with the rest of the videos, and we are talking about the same thing what is happening here. The market system, the extreme form of capitalism, the selling of away of the public sector, which has actually created problems with employment, with pay, also with income generally in the United Kingdom, including the system of benefit. The logic of me talking about benefit is that benefit is fundamentally also a factor of income. And if we had adequate income from benefit or employment, there would be no crisis known as the cost of living. The cost of living is always there, but it's supposed to be manageable because of adequate income, and especially for people on low income, but also medium class. Multi-millionaires and billionaires are not suffering from the cost of living crisis. They experience the cost of living, but they don't experience the cost of living as a crisis because they can afford to buy the basic necessities like food, water, energy, housing. They can afford housing, they can afford medical care. They can afford to access transport. They can take their children to school, and the best school, which is a good thing. But we need for the government to get the British people out of poverty. We need the British government to work with the governments of the world to get the people of the world out of poverty. Getting out of poverty is not a demand for giving wealth, making ordinary people wealthy. To get wealthy is a different story. It's a case of now getting out of poverty and having a chance in life. Because now more and more people are getting poor. That's why there's a cost of living crisis. We'll talk about this. Thank you everyone who have been watching the video, sharing with family and friends, subscribing and participating in this channel, leaving comment. I appreciate it so much. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you for participating. And like I said, in the process of talking about the cost of living crisis, I've been talking about financial support in the United Kingdom. If you watch this video, watch it with the rest of the videos. And I'll be continuing to talk about universal credit. But also, I will be pausing now and again to talk about Valentine's Day, because it's something we enjoy it. Inviting comments, and also hopefully, people chatting with me or talking about. I'm trying to link your experience with the cost of living crisis, which is actually an impoverishment. People are struggling financially, especially in Africa, also around the world. It's not really one country, but I'm looking at the United Kingdom because I'm looking at something called universal credit. If you watch this video, watch with the rest of the video. We'll talk about the universal credit, which is a form of finance. It's money given to the British people to those who are on low income. It's a system of support. It's a system of support based on policy to mitigate the incident of capitalism. Capitalism is extreme. It concentrates wealth in the hand of the few, taking this wealth away from the hand of the many. You need to understand this. We need to use our brains to think. If there is a problem, let us think about this problem. Let us think about learning something. Read books, go to the library, especially if you're a young person, because young people are now affected more because of poverty. And if you're facing a problem, be an expert on that problem. And I say any challenges, any crisis should produce change positively, depending how we approach these challenges. So my invitation to young people, and also to older people, to everybody in society, in Britain, across the world, do something about the problem. The cost of living is a school. It's an opportunity for you to grow into a better person in terms of development, but also in terms of culture. We will begin when you are faced with extreme conditions like we see with the cost of living, COVID-19, all these crises. There are opportunities for you to value your life more than otherwise. More than when you don't value your life, valuing your life, the life of your family, the life of humanity comes first. And I have said this again and again, that when we face challenges, it is an opportunity to value humanity. Development in society should focus around humanity, valuing your life, valuing the life of your family, friends, even strangers on the road. That is how to create peace. That's how to be happy. We watch television. We work so hard to get money to try and be happy. Yes, money is a good facility, but the way we think about ourselves, whether we have money or not, we should be able to be happy. But it doesn't matter how rich we are. If we think wrongly, if we don't value our life, if we don't value the life of our friends, we are going to be sad. If you have friends, good friends, you are going to be happy. If you don't value your life, if you don't value the life of your friends, you're going to be alone. Your friends are going to walk away, and you're going to be sad. and it's also an opportunity for us to focus. Opportunity for us to focus on what is important and what do you want to do with your life, and whether you're working, whether you're playing. I mean, what is your priority? Opportunity to focus on a task so that you accomplish things more effectively than previously. These are some of the things I've been talking about, and I'm so grateful that people have been here sharing this experience with me. And going forward, we will continue to talk about these things. And always remember to work as hard as possible, because the only way to succeed is work. Somebody else may say something else, but if you are to develop yourself, you have to work so hard. But once you have actually achieved, whether you are poor or rich, please help people who need help. Children, orphans, and even animals. If there are pets, dogs and cats, help these animals, feed them, even if they are not yours. And be a kind person, and help the elderly, help people who are terminally ill. In any way, if you talk to them, if you visit them in the hospital, this is a way to build humanity, to bring peace. That is how to be happy. Helping people. If you're a young person, learn to give to those who need help. Even if you only give £1 to somebody who needs it in Africa, in Asia, especially in Africa where the level of poverty is so extreme, you are going to start building peace. You are going to be a factor of peace, and this is so important. I'm so grateful for your patience and for your support, for your working with me, so that I get an opportunity to talk about this thing. And let us discuss this thing, because we are our brothers and our sisters people. We have an opportunity to take over control of our lives and become independent of the government, and actually get away from the rule of law, and also become free, become cultural people who are actually living independently of the state. We grow our own food, we build our own technology, we control our lives, and this is what the cost of living crisis is about. And it's more than just food, energy, housing. It is our way of life, it's our culture, it's our world, our resources, our development. And thanks so much for your participation. So let us now go back to looking at universal credit, which is money. And like I've invited you to look at the rest of the video. And normally when you want help financially, it's so important to claim benefit in the United Kingdom, because it helps you to pay your rent. Sometimes it helps you to pay your mortgage. Mortgage is the type of credit you get when you want to get a house in the United Kingdom to live in, or to rent out, whichever. But normally people who are on mortgage, they get it is a form of credit. You get a loan to buy your home, because houses are extremely important, but they are very expensive now. Only rich people can buy a house outright. Outright means they take money from their pocket and pay for property, or they have the capacity to do that. It doesn't mean, sometimes they borrow money. A lot of the time they borrow money, but they borrow money because they want to borrow money. The rest of the world have to borrow money to buy a house, and the rest of the world are now borrowing money to buy food, maybe also to pay for energy and water, because we buy water now from the supermarket. So we now borrow money to buy water. You don't drink water in 4 or 5 days, you're going to die. So increasingly these products are going to be more and more expensive as our economy will be closing down because of technology. Technology is beginning to run the economy. We're going to lose jobs and income. Therefore, the state is closing down. We are going to not have benefit, because private companies are not there to give help to people. They're there to sell the product to make money. So because the private companies, especially the big corporations, multi-million and multi-billion corporations, are the ones now taking over to run the economy small and medium businesses are shutting down. But also big businesses will be shutting down, which means the economy will shut down. Only enough will be left for those who can afford it, which means 90% of the population who are not multimillionaires and multi-billionaires will be excluded from the world, not just in the United Kingdom but across the globe. That is what is coming. So let us pay close attention to the condition of the economy, the condition of society. Let us take responsibility. Let us prepare to protect our species, humanity, because there is a storm coming. It is our responsibility to manage this storm. We need to survive. If we don't actually act now to come together, because the government is shutting down, they are selling off the economy to private companies who are actually multi-billionaires. Small and medium businesses, which are actually self-employed mostly, are going to shut down because they're going to go out of business. They cannot compete with big businesses. So this will shut down. Only a few corporations will produce a few products for the super rich who can afford it, because that is what the market economy is. It's for selling and buying. It's not for anything else. If you have money, now go onto the street and try to go to the shop. Tell them you are starving. Tell them you don't have food. Tell them you don't have water. You want free things from the shop, from the supermarket or from a small shop. If you're not careful, they are going to call the police to arrest you on suspicion of robbery, or just to get, or on suspicion of being a nuisance or a trespasser. Private companies are not there to help anyone. The government is the only business, the only organization capable of helping. That is what the government is for. The government is created to help people who need help. Whether you're in the United Kingdom, whether you are abroad, the government is there to help you. The government is shutting down, which means nobody is going to help you. The multi-billionaires and multi-billionaires who are private individuals are there to do business, to make money for themselves. And when they get technology, they will own it privately. If they allow you to access technology, then you will access it. If they don't allow you, you're going to be excluded because it is their property. They give to whoever they want because the government will not be there. The government will shut down. The democracy, as you know, it will stop. That is what privatization is about. It's not really selling, because you see the government are really saying they are going to sell certain things, and not now everything has been sold, including the hospital, including energy, food, public transport has been sold. Everything, public housing is being sold. Everything is going, and they are going to be shut down because you see, with technology, people will not be able to work. People will be unemployed, and people will be out of benefit. We will not see universal credit. No, benefit will shut down because benefit is provided by the government. When the government shut down, the benefit system will shut. The welfare system will shut down. Private businesses do not provide welfare. They do not also provide employment, because employment is part of welfare. Self-employment is part of welfare. When you are small and medium business, that is welfare. So the market do not support welfare in that sense. When it is the duty of the government to provide welfare, but you see, our politics has changed such that politicians and the system globally, not just in the United Kingdom, have decided to shut down the government and sell of the countries of the world, the continents, to private individuals who are super rich. Unfortunately, these private individuals who are super rich are shutting it down also. So 90%, probably 95% of the population will be excluded from anything. Food, water, energy, shelter, transportation. If you're sick, you're on your own. So we, the people now, need to prepare for life without government, potentially life without livelihood. If we are left without livelihood, we are going to die. we are seeing the beginning of extinction of humanity. So we need to take this message very seriously. And the solution to the problem is now to start taking our life seriously. We need to start thinking how we're going to look after our children. Especially if you're a child, you need to learn like an adult. If you think you're a child, your parents will continue giving you things, but your parents are losing their jobs. Where will they get the money? The government is shutting down the benefit system also. The universal credit is being shut down. Everything is being shut down. So what will children do? Because their parents will not have access to food, energy, shelter. The government now is telling the British people to go to public library, to stay there, to keep warm. If it cannot provide energy, if it cannot provide food, there is something called food bank, which is also shutting down because it is not funded. The government is not funding it. There is no money. All the money is given to the super rich. The rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. I've been saying this, I cannot resist to say this because people need to know this. And because if you are ignorant, you are at a disadvantage, you are also going to be a major obstacle to peace. Because you see, if you have information, which we should, because that is our life, information is our lifeline. And that's why I'm actually running this program. I say it already, I will be talking about the universal credit. I will be putting this information in context so that, you know, if you need help, get it now. Because the benefit is still there. So it's so complicated, it's so complex to get it. Because you see, the government is now setting that information to discourage people from accessing it because there is not enough. You go to the hospital, you can't now access service because it is not there. The resource is shutting down now. That's why there is really long waiting list in the hospital, not because of anything, because there is no money. There's no money because of government policy. The government is not able to put money into the public sector because the political agenda is to shut it down. The same with public transport. It's getting more and more expensive because every time we use public service, the government is financing it. So it is a form of welfare. Public transport, education is shutting down. Why? Because the government is not putting money into it because it is shutting down. The government is shutting down because of political reasons. It has to shut down because there is a coalition of power brokers who have instructed the government to shut society down and sell what is left to a private company who will sell it, because the government cannot shut down the economy directly because they have to give political accountability. Therefore, politics is also ending as we know it. Because when it is sold off to private companies are not accountable to us. We don't elect them. So our country is gone. In Britain, you do no longer have a country. If you want to have a country, have money. And the government is not going to give you money. Your parents will not give you money. Your family is not going to give you money because for them to get money, they need to be employed. The employment is shutting down because there is no money. Employment is available when the government supports the industry, specifically to promote employment. But with technology is replacing human labor. So there will be no jobs. Let us be clear, but these technologies are not owned by the government. These technologies are owned by the public sector. Private individuals who are multimillionaires, who own it privately, they don't give technology to anyone. You see, they are bought the land. So they're not going to give you the land. If you live anywhere, you're going to be sent into concentration camp in a prison to die. You live or die if a rich person decides, because they will own everything, they will own the world. If there is outer space, they will also own the outer space. How they buy it from the government. The government will disappear. And this is the truth. Do a research. talk to me, let us do a research, we will find the evidence. Yeah. The evidence is also on this program, Universal Credit. It is so complex, it's almost impossible to access it. We have been talking about it. I'll be talking about it going forward to make sure we get to grip with what I'm actually desperate to say. I'm sure there are 1 or 2 people watching. That's how small we are. We are doing okay. So let us go back to look at universal credit specifically. Now, like I have said, if you need universal credit, you need also to claim universal credit. If you don't claim it, you're not going to get it. And also, universal credit is actually a new type of benefit. It is moving, it's actually benefit moving from legacy to new benefit. So now, normally there are changes in circumstances if you are actually claiming universal credit. So your situation can change. When your situation changes, for example, if you lose your job, because universal credit is means tested. If you have 6,000 in savings, 6,000 pounds in savings, you can get the full benefit if you don't work. Or if you work and you only probably less than 7,000, it's a single claimant. It's a single person claiming benefit. And if you are if you're actually claiming as a couple, maybe husband and wife, both of you are actually claiming benefit, you are supposed to claim universal credit jointly as a general rule. And under certain circumstances, you may be required to claim universal credit separately, but you have to talk to the Department of Work and Pension. If they give you permission, you will have to explain your circumstance to them and to allow them to allow you to claim benefit separately if you are a couple. Now, if you are a couple claiming together, you need to have at least more than 1,000 pounds or less to claim universal credit, because this is means testing. I'm trying to explain the meaning of means testing. Means testing means you have the means to livelihood, which is money. The means that you have money. If you earn as a single person claiming benefit, earn about 700 pounds per month, then you are most likely not to be able to claim it. This is, we'll talk about standard allowance, because there are different elements of universal credit. You have standard allowance. You have also other elements. Other elements, say for example, housing elements. Housing elements is not necessarily means tested, because if you're already getting standard allowance, that's the passport benefit to getting housing benefit. No, not really. The housing element of universal credit. Housing element of universal credit has replaced the housing benefit, which is the same benefit. Housing benefit is a legacy of universal credit equivalents of housing element. So I'm just giving this as an example of the kind of benefit to claim under universal credit. Universal credit is actually new. It's part of government reform. But like I have been saying consistently, that is so complex. And you can also list here from when I'm trying to explain, it's a very complex process. And I will be talking about it at every opportunity. I will be concentrating on universal credit to illustrate the condition of income under the benefit regime in the United Kingdom. And if you're in Europe, Asia, and America, there are also benefit systems. In Africa, there are benefit systems, but probably things like pension, maybe welfare, more school support, government school. You know, they call it seed schools in Africa, in Uganda, and on other part of Africa, perhaps. Which means actually government is actually supporting it, which is actually now changing. If you are in Africa, the chances are if you don't have money, your children won't go to school. The simple answer, they will be sent home because they can't really study. It's not happening everywhere in Africa. And yet, when you go to Africa, you will be told education is free. But if it is not free, if education is free in Africa, why are children being sent home if you don't pay money? I mean, there are places in Africa where children are actually supposed to carry food, raw food from home, like beans, flour, maize flour, millet, so that is actually a requirement. Children, you have to take food. When you are going to most schools in Africa are actually boarding schools, secondary school. You're supposed to take food, dry food, raw food to school, like beans, like posho, maize, like some maize flour. Maybe you carry it on your head. If you're a student, you carry it on your head. You have to really go to and fro, and if you are lucky, you will have people helping you to carry food in sacks, maybe 10 kilograms on your head. And go to school, you have to take your bed and mattress. You have to take your food to school. This is what is now happening in Africa. And it's also happening in the United Kingdom, at least. In the United Kingdom, people can afford it because of the benefit system. But the benefit system is closing down. And this is what I'm talking about. It's a serious matter. It's a matter of life and death. If you don't study, but even if you study now in Africa or in the United Kingdom, the likelihood you're not going to find work anywhere. Because more and more computing technology is taking over. And the pace is so fast. And this is not scaremongering, but it is a fact which I endeavor to speak so that people are prepared. Because as a species, we are survivors. And if we are aware of a situation, we are going to deal with it successfully. We will survive. And this is survival a necessity. And I'll continue to talk about it. So today, I'm so happy that you came, that you supported me. Thank you for your help as always. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, sharing with family and friends, clicking like, clicking notification bell, and also engaging with this material to try and understand the issues of the world and to take a view on development and culture, to understand problems, to learn also to resolve, to solve, especially young people. And using the resources we have, mental resources, social resources, material, learning resources, and also our ability, our determination, our motivations, and all the resources we have, also family and friends. Looking at the support from government and society, working as hard as possible, making friends to be happy, being friends even with family, to be happy, because our purpose as humanity is to be happy, and peace is the source of happiness. And if we revisit our culture, like I said, like we discussed today, we will be in control of our life. And I've already said that changes is coming to the final stages, and capitalism is now coming to an end. And that means also the selling of society is complete. Government is shutting down. If you're struggling to access health care, if you're struggling to find work, if you are struggling to access the basic necessity, what you want and what you need, this is the thing we have been discussing. This is the thing I invite you to reflect on, leaving a comment below, and taking your life seriously, valuing your life, valuing the life of other people. And in the UK, we have looked at money given by the UK government to people who need help. The cost of living is an income-related issue. We have discussed the cost of living in terms of Valentine's celebration, which took place today. I'm so happy that you celebrated your Valentine's Day with your loved ones, partners, or family, or just friends, or members of your communities or family. And also a sign that if we are willing, we are actually able to live well with one another, and living peacefully, being happy, and uniting to bring ideas together to help one another to solve problems. And I've also spoken to universal credit, which is the money, and I've also said that whatever help the government gives in terms of money, and because I said cost of living is income related, if you're celebrating events such as Valentine's Day, it actually affects the way you live your life. That's why it is so important. That's why I thought to link what I have been discussing for a year now, more than 1 year, the cost of living crisis, with other events in our lives, so that we see the relevance. Christmas, end of year, birthday parties, weddings, funerals, and today we are talking about Valentine's Day, linking it, Valentine's celebration, linking it with the cost of living crisis. Leave a comment below and let me know your feelings, how it went. And if you watched my video, I've attempted to actually share snippets, section of the video showing how other people were celebrating Valentine's in spite of the cost of living crisis, which means it just demonstrates the resilience of humanity to celebrate their life, not to be prevented by the government or the system or by any event, in nature or in the family or in society. Life is full of crisis, and crisis is a way of life. And it is for us with this material like this to remember to take control of our lives. And thank you so much. And we have been saying that if you can do your best in the UK, Europe, America, Asia, in Africa, get help from the state, get help from communities, families, and from even strangers if you feel safe getting help from strangers. But more than getting help, give help. Use every resources. Think, use your imagination, be creative, and make your clothing. If you have the window opportunity, make your shoes, build your own houses. If you are in Africa, and even if you are in the UK, talk to the government, British government, or Europe. Talk to your government to give you money to form community organization, so that you start building your own things. Because like I said, when technology matures, which it has already, more and more people will be losing their jobs. We want goods and services. If we can produce our own food, energy, housing, we can build our own homes. If we can become experts, even medical doctors, in families, in communities, we develop a sense of self-reliance. We build our own machines, vehicles, airplanes. The government should give us land to build our own airports, so that we don't rely on the government anymore, because the government is shutting down anyway. So this is the information. And the private companies are also making money. If we know channels of talking to multimillionaires and multimillionaires as members of communities. If you have a non-governmental charities, non-governmental organization, NGOs, if you have heard of them, there are charities. You can set up organization and ask the government to fund it. Ask big organizations, private companies to fund it, especially if you're in Africa, but also if you are in Europe, America, and Asia. Everybody is facing similar situation. Instead of relying on the government, let us rely on ourselves, on the community, on our families. Let us start this organization and actually use social media, internet, and all sorts of resources to raise funding, crowdfunding, and use this funding, design plans, teach ourselves to become business consultants, leaders, and managers, and technocrats, building your own home. It's happening in Africa. Africans are building their own home, their own land. Let the government give us land in the United Kingdom, in Europe, in America. So we'll build our own home. We grow our own food, so that we don't bother the government. The government should talk to multimillionaires and multimillionaires to give community organizations, family-based organizations, who want to do things for themselves, and so that we replace community groups with government, statutory bodies which are shutting down, which is what we have chosen as society. We want to be free of the government, and this is the information. Let us take it home. That if we are in a position to do so, let us get out now, benefit our housing, and because it's still there. So whatever is still available from the government, do your best to get it. Hospital, school, public transport, employment. If there are jobs, access it. If there is benefit, access it. Because I said work and benefit are actually the primary source of income in the UK, Europe, America, and across the globe. So these two, if they are still there in terms of employment, in terms of money given by the state, if there are groups of family members, there are groups of community members, there are groups of societies who have the initiative and tenacity to work together, they can begin providing welfare support. You build your community centers, you buy land, or you ask for land from the government. The government should have responsibility. Only public land should be given to community members in the United Kingdom, in Europe, in America, in Asia, in Africa, where the clan lands are not there. The land owned by the government should be allocated to people who do not have access to land in Africa, across the globe. Let them have land. Talk to people who are actually super rich. There are multimillionaires and multi-billionaires in Africa who are so rich. They should now work with the government to support community-based organizations, a non-governmental organization, small, medium, and big community groups, charities, who will grow their own food, produce their own energy, build their own homes, build their own hospitals and schools, provide for transport, digging their own roads, railway station, boats, waterways, airways. Communities should now take over control from what the government is leaving vacant, from what the super rich are now leaving vacant. Because I said the super rich, when they buy the economy from the government, they shut it down, because in their nature, private companies are actually there to make profit. Community organizations like families and community groups, society group, charity group do not make profit, but they are similar to government, except they are controlled by communities, by families, which is the model to replace the state. As we move away from the state, we now move toward communities. We move through families, or even individuals who can do things for themselves. But like I said, in terms of commerce, in terms of business, small and medium businesses are shutting down because they cannot compete commercially with big corporations. Big corporations will also shut down. they will only leave enough capacity to produce goods and service for people who can afford it, multimillionaires and multi-billionaires. People who are actually excluded because they cannot find work, especially young people of today, in the next 10, 20, 50, 100 years, when technology takes over society, technology being owned by multimillionaires and multi-billionaires, ordinary people will not access goods and services and products unless the government now work with multimillionaires and multi-billionaires to allocate land so that people begin to build their own homes instead of waiting for the government to give it to them. I mean, make your own clothing. Yeah, your clothes, your shoes, beddings, curtains, whatever, watch. As a community members, you train yourself, you create your own school, you create your own research facilities in the community, in the family, supported by the government, supported by multimillionaires, in the interest of peace, in the interest of progress. Thank you so much. And subscribe to this channel, share with family and friends, leave a comment below. Your comment is really, your views are so important because this is important. I need support with ideas, with contribution, and I am so optimistic because there are a few people who are engaging with these facilities. Going forward, I will patiently go through the process and hoping to access more communities, build more communities around these ideas, around this program, so that we begin to work together for peace and prosperity, and for our joy, for our happiness, for our family, for the future of our earth, our universe, for future of humanity. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.